I didn't see him transitioning into an outside linebacker. I mean, he's a really undersized defensive end. And one that's not good against the run. So, let's see what the Patriots can do there. They need pass rushing help. They traded Chandler Jones away. So we'll see how he does up there. It's going to be a competitive division, especially with Brady missing 4 games. Patriots are probably going to be 2-2 when he comes back at best. I don't see Garoppolo and that cast, being able to win more than 2 games. I can't see it. I think that would be great if they won 2. Oh, here's a story. It was a great idea. As a fan of football, it'd be awesome to see these guys 2 hook up and be on the same team. As a Lions fan, I would hate it. It would drive the defenses in the NFC North crazy. But Aaron Rodgers has gone on record and said, look, I would love to play with DeAndre Hopkins. When he's a free agent, let's get him. Bring him here and watch what we can do. And I think that would be very, very, very impressive, actually. And it'd be fun to watch. Aaron Rodgers is, in my opinion, again, the best quarterback in the NFL. And DeAndre Hopkins is a very talented, very athletic, very acrobatic receiver. That would make Aaron Rodgers' job even better. And then you put a Jordy Nelson on the other side, and now you can throw Cobb specifically into the slot. Whew. Man, that would be fun to see. Fun to see, not fun to watch when they played in the Lions. All right, now let me get to this. This is another headline I'm going to talk about because I didn't get to talk to you guys about this one on Wednesday either. And I told you guys before the last UFC 202 that, in fact, a few times I've talked about how these organizations, the UFC and the WWE, would like nothing more than to blur the lines or to have these crossover fans that can help promote and help build both of their enterprises. And right before UFC 202, you have Brock Lesnar, WWE guy, crossover UFC guy, calling out Conor McGregor for his comments about WWE wrestlers. Well, after the fight, you have McGregor saying, possibly I'll go heavyweight. There's other options outside of the UFC. I would bet money that you will soon see Conor McGregor against Brock Lesnar in some kind of a WWE MMA style match. Might be a cage match, table match, ladder match, no holds barred match, hardcore match, however they want to do that. I would bet money we're going to see another UFC WWE crossover in Conor McGregor. Now, will that be before he defends his title so he doesn't get it stripped? I don't know. But the writing is on the wall. As much back and forth as is going on between the two organizations, as much as they had to work out to let Brock Lesnar leave his WWE contract, potentially get hurt fighting in the UFC, that would jeopardize what he did for the WWE. They couldn't have that. Now, we're going to get to our college football preview. Hello?
Hey, Kyle.
Chris?
Yep.
Hey, how you doing, Chris?
Doing well, man. How are you?
Good. Glad you could call in this morning. So, just so my listeners know, Chris, go ahead and tell them who you are, what you do, and just, introduce yourself a little bit.
Right on. Well, I'm Chris Rupert. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer here at the Dirt Cannon, and my responsibilities are making sure that we get the word out. We put together the excellent content that you can read on the site and other social media platforms, and all the other marketing and advertising that comes along with letting everybody know how awesome it is to teach them how to win.
Awesome. Winning is the best, guys. If you haven't checked out the dirtcannon.com yet, you guys got to check this out. I already know I'm going to win my leagues this year because of the dirtcannon.com and how they're helping me out, setting my lineups and everything. So much appreciated for what you guys are doing over there.
Right on.
But for today, let's talk some college football. You want to talk some college football with me?
Oh, yeah. The weather already feels nice and cool and crisp, and I can't wait.
Right? It's that time of year. You can feel it in the air. And, we got the college season opening up next week. And you know what I've noticed? It seems like there's a lot of top matchups coming into the opening week of college football. Like a lot of big games.
Yeah, it's hard for the opening weekend of a season, or any weekend for that matter, to get much better.
Yeah, I mean,
games are spread out from like Thursday to Monday with a long list of prominent non-conference matchups, intersectional showdowns, neutral sites, you name it. It's hard to complain when you're treated to games like Alabama, USC, LSU, Wisconsin, Georgia, North Carolina. These great games, they go beyond the neutral sites too. You got Texas hosting Notre Dame on Sunday, Auburn hosting Clemson, Houston hosting Oklahoma in the Texan Stadium. Opening Thursday, maybe not so great, but, there's some high-profile Power 5 games on 4 straight days after that gets us all started with Georgia Tech, Boston College at 7:30 Eastern in the morning on Saturday in Ireland.
Wow. So, that's going to be a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
For all you early risers, all you college football fanatics out there, wake up early Saturday and check it out.
Yeah, just stay up late Friday. Just keep it going.
There you go. Stay up late Friday. Keep it going. So let's talk a little bit about the Ole Miss-Florida State game. What's this one look like to you?
Well, the final game of the phenomenal first weekend, you got the Rebels facing off against the Seminoles in Orlando on Labor Day night.
Mm-hmm.
Both are ranked in the top 12 of the preseason coaches poll. Seminoles are number 4. Florida State hasn't really decided on a quarterback yet, but has legitimate playoff hopes. It could be on the line to start the season against a dangerous Rebels team with one of the nation's best QBs, Chad Kelly.
Ooh, that's
if you
good.
were to look at the score, I'd break it down probably Ole Miss 26, Florida State 24, with an Ole Miss win probability percent at 57.
Wow, okay. I was thinking, maybe Florida State in this one because some of the players Ole Miss has lost to the NFL, the Treadwells and the Robert Incomdicis. But, all right, Ole Miss the favorite in that one. Nice. How about Alabama? Are they going to be strong this year, starting out against USC?
Well, it's Alabama. They're a factory. But the issue for USC is they have the toughest schedule in the country, particularly at the beginning and the end. I mean, the Trojans open with Alabama in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Then they got Utah State. Then they're at Stanford. Then they're at Utah. And they end with Oregon, at Washington, at UCLA, and Notre Dame.
Mm.
I mean, Nick Saban crushes opponents in openers.
Right.
And I don't see it very much being close, even though SC has probably one of the best athletes in the country, Adoree Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
But to see the uniforms on the same field with all that history, it's enough for me to tune in, but make Alabama 32, USC 17 with Alabama win probability of 83.5%.
Wow, okay. Go Alabama, roll Tide. How about this?
Low tide.
Low Tide.
Yeah.
How about the LSU-Wisconsin matchup? That one seems like it could be fun.
Yeah, full disclosure, my blood is purple. This game's going to come down to this. Wisconsin is not Alabama, and they will not stop Leonard Fournette.
All right.
And the other issue is that Dave Aranda is LSU's defensive coordinator who had the same position at Wisconsin. So that familiarity is going to breed contempt.
Yep.
LSU 34, Wisconsin 14, with LSU an 89.4% win probability.
Wow. Okay. Very nice. And just for the local fans here, the Rocky Mountain Showdown. It's a sleeper. It's a dud. It's not a big national game, but CU-CSU. How do you see that one going?
Well, I think the issue for CU is that last year 5 of their 9 losses were by 8 points or less.
Right.
They're slowly building their program back up, but I don't know how much longer that's going to take. And for CSU, I mean, I don't have a lot of faith in Mike Bobo, but I do think that for Colorado, this is one of the games that they need to have, because their only other home games that they have that they should win is Idaho State and maybe Oregon State. I mean, CU's got to go at Michigan, and 2 of their 3 North opponents are Oregon and Stanford, so it's going to be a tough road for them in Colorado.
Right.
But I think the self-proclaimed Rocky Mountain Showdown is going to be CU 28, CSU 25, with a 59.4% win probability for CU.
All right, guys. So the local fans there you go. There's your Rocky Mountain Showdown preview. Now,
Speaking of which, did you see David Webb last night for Cal?
No, I missed it.
Yeah, that's the guy who spurned Colorado to go play for Cal, and he lit up Hawaii.
Oh, nice. Good for him. You got to do what's right for you, especially in a game of college football where they're making so much money off of you.
That's right.
Can't hate on him for making a choice like that. Upset pick. You got an upset pick for this week? Upset game?
I do. I have upset alert for Northwestern. Western Michigan plays at Northwestern, and the Wildcats, they scored the biggest Week 1 surprise last year when they beat Stanford.
Mm-hmm.
That probably cost Stanford a shot at the playoffs.
Right.
Northwestern's now coming off that 10-win season they had. They'll try to survive against Western Michigan, that potentially is the best team in the MAC and is a major bowl contender in P.J. Fleck's 4th season.
Wow, okay.
The Broncos are loaded on offense, while Northwestern won 10 games last year despite a stagnant, terrible offense.
That is true. All right, Western Michigan, okay. And a sleeper game. You got a sleeper game for the listeners?
Yeah, of all the contests that are going on this weekend, I think the sleeper game that a lot of people may not pay attention to, but maybe they should, is K-State at Stanford on Friday.
Okay.
It gets overshadowed by the rest of the games, partly because K-State struggled last year, but it's worth paying attention to for these reasons. Wildcats have a lot of sleeper potential with a much improved defense.
Mm-hmm.
You never know how much longer we'll get to see Bill Snyder coach, and perhaps he has one more surprise in him. However, if it doesn't turn out to be a good game, it's probably because Christian McCaffrey put on another show.
Right. And speaking of Christian McCaffrey, he is back for the Cardinal this season. Do you think he's going to be able to repeat what he did last season?
It's going to be tough. 3.5 years starting quarterback Kevin Hogan's gone. 3 starting offensive linemen are gone. 2 of the top 3 wideouts are gone, and a defense that finished 64th in yards per play allowed last year. Maybe you thought Derrick Henry was deserving Heisman winner last year, but McCaffrey was more deserving. And as a sophomore, he set the FBS single-season all-purpose yards record that was held by Barry Sanders, Hall of Fame.
Right.
With astonishing production in multiple ways. The guy had 2,000 rushing yards plus, 645 receiving yards, 28.9 yards per kick return, 2 return touchdowns, 13 offensive touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns. McCaffrey's phenomenal pure running back, an excellent receiver, and one of the best kick returners in the country. His toughest challenge is going to be living up to the enormous standard he set last year. But if Stanford wins the Pac-12 again, he should be in the forefront of that Heisman conversation.
And with that conversation, we're also looking at names like Deshaun Watson, Leonard Fournette. How do you see, as a preseason kind of view, that battle for the top player playing out this year?
Well, I think you named the 3 guys that are probably the most exciting to watch in all of college football, at least for my dollar.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll answer it this way. I think a Heisman finalist last year, Deshaun Watson, he bounced back from a torn ACL as a freshman to throw for 4,100 yards, 35 touchdowns, ran for 1,100 yards, 12 touchdowns in 15 games. Plus, he guided Clemson to a perfect season. Plus, more impressively, he threw for 405 yards and 4 touchdowns in the national championship loss to Alabama.
Right.
Watson's the best quarterback in college football, arguably the best player. And if Clemson gets back to the playoff, you should expect Watson to be in New York with a good chance of taking home the award. But, again, bleed purple.
Mm-hmm.
LSU beats Alabama. LSU does what I think they'll do this year. It's all Leonard Fournette.
All right. Now, maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go with Michigan as the national champion this year. If you had to,
a lot of Kool-Aid.
lot of Kool-Aid. I'm buying the hype. The Air Jordan uniforms, Harbaugh doing all of what he's doing. Who do you have, or who do you see potentially being this year's overall champion?
Well, ultimately it's a projection, and our projections may have not ended up fairly neat and tidy.
Right.
With 4 teams picked to finish the season with 1 loss. And I'm only confident, relatively speaking, with the national championship game. The messy parts